Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Susan Dawn Ascension Connections. Welcome to another light language transmission. This is actually going to be done in two parts. The first part is going to be the feminine energy of receiving love, and then the second part is going to be the masculine energy of healing the masculine. Those were the two phrases that I received. The titles might be a little bit different when I actually go to upload, but those were the two transmissions that I've received. Now, the Healing the Masculine transmission is going to come a little bit later, towards the end of the week, because I am still receiving a lot of upgrades, still going through a lot of transformation with my own inner masculine and healing that. But that is incoming. So once I get all the information, once I receive all the upgrades as far as that transmission, I will be posting it. So make sure that you stay tuned for that as well. The reason why it is done in two parts is because, again, you have both the masculine and the feminine energies within you. And we've been talking a lot about the masculine energy as of late, especially as it relates to union. Inner union, this could be union with a counterpart. Take it as it resonates for you. In the most recent channeling that we did, Complete Surrender is what it was called, here on the channel. You can go ahead and check it out. I'll put a link in the description box for your resources. It is all about what is the distorted masculine and what does that mean to become the divine masculine. It means healing internally. It means facing your shadows. Well, the feminine energy has to do the same with regards to her own inner masculine, with regards to her own feminine power. What do I mean when I say that? Because you have both masculine and feminine energies within you, if you are a core feminine energy, by which I mean if you resonate strongest, if you feel like your core essence is feminine, you have both. You have both the masculine and the feminine, but you emanate either a masculine or a feminine polarity naturally. And then, especially if you're in sacred partnerships, or this could be any relationship dynamic, you experience that polarity with other people. If you are a masculine and you meet another masculine, you recognize that sometimes if you go head to head, you go toe to toe. If you are a feminine and you meet another feminine, there's a softer vibration, but sometimes that vibration, especially if you're into distortions, it can be very passive. And so when you have the masculine and the feminine dynamic, no matter if you're male or female, this happens in every single encounter that we have. When you have the balance of the masculine and the feminine, even if you are a core feminine and you meet another core feminine, sometimes you have to embody the masculine energy, especially when it comes to business, especially when it comes to life, paying bills, interactions, communicating with others. It all depends on where are you energetically. So if you are in the feminine energy, then you're doing a lot of healing right now with your inner masculine, finding stability, finding safety, finding security. If you are a core masculine, you're doing a lot of healing on the feminine side right now, which is all about expression, all about following your intuition versus the ego, and learning how to discern between the both. And the more you heal those polarities within yourself, the more you're able to heal the polarities or the distortions that you see reflected back to you in your outside world, because everybody is a reflection of what we contain within. So if you are having trouble with communication or expression and you heal that, then you're able to receive communication and receive that expression much more easily. If you are having trouble finding that stability and that balance in how other people interact with you, the more that you heal that stability and that security within yourself, the more you build that foundation with the world around you. So I go really deep into this in the Complete Surrender. I don't want to repeat myself here because this is for the transmission. But what we're doing here is we are really allowing ourselves to heal the feminine and the masculine energy in this two-part transmission. So here we're going to talk about the feminine energy. And the feminine energy, when she's in her distorted energy, she is actually overgiving. Now, the feminine energy is the one who receives. But too often, that feminine energy has been repressed or suppressed to the point where she feels like she owes the world, where she feels like she has to sacrifice herself in order to make her voice heard, in order to be seen, in order to be understood. And so she gives and she gives and she gives and she sacrifices herself and she closes herself down. When she's in the energy of, the energy of a divine conscious masculine, where she is able to feel safe to express herself, where she is able to feel safe and open to receive, that is when she blossoms. And that is truly when so much magic occurs, because there is so much magic within the feminine energy. Now, you have both those energies within you, but we're talking about as well within the outside world, in the presence of masculine energy, in the presence of feminine energy. On the flip side, the masculine had been taking and taking and taking, because that is what the patriarchy, that is what society and conditioning had programmed them to do. It was a sense of entitlement. It was a sense of, I've earned this. It was a sense of just ego and power plays. But masculine energy, conscious divine masculine energy, is the natural giver. They're the provider. And not necessarily in the way of material items, although that could be the case. And we're not talking about the way we view it as a society, because that's a very distorted view. We mean in the way of, this could be your own inner masculine too. Do you have a firm foundation? Do you have stability? Do you have structure? Do you have consistency? That is what the divine masculine offers, especially that emotional vessel, that emotional container with which the feminine energy can feel safe. So when we're talking about this, what I want you to do is really understand that it comes from inside first. It's about healing and clearing the distortions within your inner masculine and feminine. That's the easiest way to understand that. And the more you heal that within yourself, the more you build your own foundation, the more you're able to find your own strength, find your own courage, find your own stability, structure within yourself, within your own core masculine, the more you're able to open yourself up to receive, because you are feeling stable, secure within your own masculine to be able to provide for you, the more you're going to see that reflected in your outside relationships with a romantic partner. Could be being able to receive from family, friends, opportunities, whatever this is, the world would then reflect it back, because you're then aligning to it. So take it as it resonates for your own inner union, for your own inner wholeness, for your own inner balance first and foremost. Okay, sorry, my nose is very itchy. All right, so we're getting ready to do this transmission. And so this is all about the feminine's ability to receive. And again, for so long she had been closed off because she didn't feel safe to open up, to blossom in the presence of divine masculine, because divine masculine didn't feel safe, or the masculine energy, I should say, did not feel safe to her, especially with regards to everything that she has experienced in society, in the world, that old distorted programming that is truthfully still at play, that we are clearing, that we are healing at present, collectively at present. And so what's happening is she's learning how to open up. She's learning to allow herself to receive, that she doesn't have to be the giver, that she doesn't have to sacrifice herself, that she doesn't owe anybody anything, to be herself, to just be who she is, to exist in the world. You don't owe the world. You just be you. And so this is a lot of her value. This is a lot of her worth. This is where she's no longer abandoning herself, betraying herself, neglecting herself, or rejecting herself. This is her really stepping into her divine feminine power, her sovereignty, her self-empowerment. And so the more we heal that receptive mode, the more she's able to relax, to soften, to be that nurturing, compassionate, but powerful and magical being that she is, because she feels like, yes, I'm allowed to receive too. Yes, I'm allowed to, and it's not just receiving money. It's not just receiving resources. It's not just receiving material goods. This is receiving on the emotional, energetic realm, to be able to receive that safety, to be able to receive that security, to be able to be held. The divine feminine wants to be held by the masculine, in the masculine container. And that masculine container, again, is consistency, is disciplined, is loving and nurturing in a very provider kind of way, naturally wants to give, naturally wants to offer. So where the divine feminine had been in her own distortions of, again, overgiving, overexpression, because she felt like she needed to owe something in order to just exist, now she's receiving, now she's realizing that she can be in her natural energy of flow. And the more she's able to receive, the more she's able to give. And Conversely, on the masculine side, the more he's able to give, the more he's able to receive. So that is the beautiful balance, that wholeness, that union between the two. So really take this for your own inner masculine and feminine. The more you're able to give, the more you're able to receive. That's the masculine energy. The more you're able to receive, the more you're able to give. That's the feminine energy. It's not draining your cup. It's not pouring from an empty cup anymore, where the feminine had been for so long. So this is a really beautiful balance that we're correcting right now. So again, stay tuned for part 2 because there's going to be more coming up. I'm still kind of receiving that information, but we're going to do the light language transmission to open up the feminine to feeling safe, to be able to let go of the restrictions or the feelings that she had to sacrifice, or that she owed anything, or that she couldn't just flourish, especially in the presence of a masculine energy. Where she felt like she was constricted, where she felt like she was suppressed, to feel open to receiving. All right, you guys know the drill. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths. On the in-breath, what I want you to do is just imagine yourself filling up with the pure divine white light of the universe, golden white light of the universe. And on the exhale, exhale anything that just isn't serving you anymore. Whatever comes to mind that just doesn't serve you, that just feels like old programming, that just feels like old energy, exhale it out into the universe to be transmuted. I'm going to do that 3 times. Okay. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Omala kete kolo sapaka ereko, emeke ete kolo kosa sapako. Omolo kolo loko sapaka shapaka sasakoto toko, abeke sapaka, ere dokoro doko shapaka sasakato. Emeke sapaka shapaka sasako shapako sasakoto toko. Healing the throat chakra now, where she had held back and been unable to express herself in the fullness of herself, for fear especially of her emotions being ridiculed, of not being supported in her emotions. The divine feminine is a storm of emotions in a beautiful capacity, not the immature energy of emotional immaturity, but the wild feminine. She is able to control, and in that control she is able to receive support from the masculine. Not fearing her words anymore. Not fearing her expression anymore. Not holding herself back. Turning now to the hidden inner child, who felt like she needed to hide herself away and suppress herself. This is coming from eons, from past lifetimes, from this lifetime. Koshishapek is clearing all timelines where the hidden child was. Suppressed feminine energy. It is a clearing all timelines now of suppression, of persecution, of prosecution. Divine feminine wanted to give. She wanted to give of herself. She wanted to give of her gifts, and that was destroyed. That was taken away from her. And so she closed down in on herself. She withdrew. And so she went to the other extreme of sacrificing herself because she felt that was what was required of her. She has forgotten how to receive love. She is remembering now. She had forgotten how to allow love in. She has forgotten how to receive support, how to receive guidance, how to receive love in the container of the divine masculine vessel. Aligning the energies now. Ememe enenoko shapake sesekoto shapake sesekoto koto sapake enenono pala akoto ololo sapake elele koto toko ameme ke sesepeko shapako seseko shapake seseko shapa. Divine feminine is waking up. Shapake sesekoto shapake ambeko shapake seseko shapake seseko shapake seseko. She is rising into her divine power, into her self-empower and her sovereignty. Opaka shapake seseko shapa. She is aligning to truth. She is receiving of the love and eternal wisdom of God's source, the Mother, Father, God source, in divine union, in divine balance, Mother, Father, God of all that is. She's aligning to her universal nature. She is allowing herself to be held. She is allowing herself to receive. She is allowing herself to believe expressions of love. Okay. That, I mean, I always say this, that was powerful. It always is. I hope that you guys felt it as well. It was really interesting what was coming through. That last part, when I was hearing she's allowing herself to receive expressions of love, it was allowing herself to be loved, allowing herself to receive love in all ways that wants to come to her. This is not just expressions as far as communication. This is not just expressions of love as far as I love you. This is universal love. This is the world, the universe wanting to love her back. Just as she is overflowing with love for the universe, for the world, for all, she is now being open. They were opening up that heart chakra to allow her to receive that love. The expressions of the world loving her. It's funny, they're actually showing me like a Disney cartoon, like a Disney princess, like Snow White. And you know how Snow White, she flings open, or even Cinderella, they fling open the window and all these forest animals come towards her. That's what they're showing me, to say I love you. That's the world, the universe that is coming towards her to love her. And she's finally allowing herself to receive that, because she's finally allowing herself to believe that they were clearing timelines, they were clearing blocks to the divine feminine being able to receive that love. She was pushing that away, because she felt like she could only give it. She felt like she owed the world something. She felt like she was worthless unless she was giving. It's very emotional. It's very emotional. So you guys might be a little bit emotional after that. There's a lot that is being unblocked right now for the feminine energy. So we probably will follow up with this in another sacred channeling, because this felt really really important. This felt really in depth. And we are going to have the second part coming up, hopefully towards the end of the week. But as soon as I receive all the downloads for that transmission, I will post it. Really interesting energy. Let me know how it resonated with you. Make sure that you hydrate. Make sure that you rest. I'm sending you guys so much love. And what they're actually saying to me now, and I just want to impart this on you guys, is the emotion that you're feeling. If you're feeling emotion, allow yourself to feel that emotion, because that suppression is what we were healing right now. So allow yourself to feel that emotion. Allow yourself to because that's where you're held. That's what they were talking about, the storm of the divine feminine, the emotional ability of the divine feminine. Divine feminine is emotional, but she is not that immature emotionality. She is able to control her emotions, but she feels everything. And so allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to cry, because crying is a healthy release. Allow yourself to express whatever it is that comes up, because this is part of the release. This is part of the healing that is occurring, and this is part of who you are. And so embrace that and adore that about yourself and honor that about yourself. Cherish that about yourself. This is what it is to be that feminine energy. It is the expression of it all. And the emotional maturity part is not attaching to the emotions, allowing yourself to feel it and release it, not creating stories or attachments around it, but allowing yourself to feel the full force. And so in this emotionality that the feminine might be feeling, that you might be feeling right now, this is where you're held. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be emotional. It is okay to be expressive. In fact, that is an honor. And so this is where you're held by the masculine, your inner masculine. If you don't have an outer masculine who, or if you don't have an outer masculine who is able to do this or capable of doing this, this is your own inner masculine that is holding you now, holding space for you and holding you in that container of love. So do take it as it resonates for you, and do allow yourself to honor yourself with compassion and grace. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.